Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. When I was in fourth grade, I discovered that if you started with 1 penny and you had a way to double your money, even if you could only do it once a week, it didn't take long before you were a millionaire or even a billionaire. In fact, it wouldn't take long to acquire all the money in the world, all the gold, all the bismuth, everything in the world, right? One time I was at a book fair sale and I bought something for $1, a small toy or something like that. The following day, my classmate came to school really upset. He had been ill the day before, and he missed the book fair. I offered to sell him the toy that I had for $2, and he bought it off of me without hesitation. In retrospect, I should have asked for more, but that's all right. But it was my first taste of doubling my money. But then I learned the hard way. It's a lot harder to double $2 or it's twice as hard to double $2 as it is to double $1, right? It usually involves twice as much work. See, if it only involved 20% more work, then this would be a lot more feasible. Now that I'm all grown up, I actually do have a way to literally double pennies. I recently learned how to melt zinc pennies. In theory, I could melt copper pennies too, but it's really messy because it's hot. I don't have the gear to handle it correctly. I often spill it, make a mess. So I made a bunch of these pyramids, a bunch of Buddhas, a bunch of other stuff. I must have melted, I think altogether I melted $100 worth of pennies. You guys saw the Buddhas and stuff that so far, right? And I went to the art show and I hardly sold any of that, but I got 120 back, and I still have most of the stuff that I made. By the time I sell it all, it's probably closer to $1,000 worth of art, right? The problem is that eventually I sell it all, I get the $1,000 or whatever it is, right? And then I make $1,000 worth of art. The problem is that it takes 10 times more time to make $1,000 worth of art as it does 100, right? See, what I need, this is the formula that I've been wanting to come up with for 30 years now. What I need is a way to double my money, but at the same time, the workload for doubling the money only goes up by 50%, even though my money goes up 100%, right? If I had something like, or even if it went up 80%, right? Even that would be feasible, right? It just can't go up 100%, right? Because if it went up only 80%, I could probably hire somebody to do the legwork, right? So I'm still working on that business model. Unfortunately, every time I've doubled my money, the redoubling takes double as much work, right? Everything that I've done where I've doubled my money feels like that, right? I used to collect coins and I would flip them. I would buy coins from one city and go to the other. I was going to school in Rochester, New York. I had family in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I would often travel with lots and lots of coins, right? The nice thing about traveling like that is I used to have because I would often have hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of coins in my car. I would have big fears of my car breaking down, of getting into an accident, and not being able to keep track of everything. It made me a much safer driver. It made me take good care of my cars. So there was a silver lining to that as well. This is the Peter Doubling Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Doubling Show. Bum 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 bum.